Hi, Cailen Ascher here from Calm Biz, and today I'm sharing with you 4 tips for preventing burnout. Now, this is something that I find is so common for entrepreneurs and especially yoga teachers, which is such a shame because the work that we do for others is so helpful and so fulfilling and helps them in their lives so much. And yet, so much of the time when we're teaching tons of classes and running around and also trying to still be engaged and active in our personal lives, we get really tired and burnt out and just feel like we're not maintaining that important work-life balance. So here are 4 ways to help you maintain a better balance between your work and your personal life. Now, the first tip I have for you is to pick just one task a day to focus on. Now, that doesn't mean you should only do one thing a day, but it means that once you get that one thing accomplished, you can have that sense of confidence and reassurance and feel really, really good that you got your most important to do done. And when we have that, when we can celebrate these little milestones, it really puts our mind at ease and it puts our bodies at ease, and it puts us just in a better energetic space to get even more accomplished throughout the day. So, as I mentioned, it doesn't mean you should only do one thing a day, but choose one important task, whether it be for your business or your personal life that you want to get done. One important email that you really need to send, or the fact that you really need to outline a workshop that's coming up, or a phone call you need to make, or something that you need to do for your child. One thing a day. And once you can check that off your list, you can really feel good that you got your most important to do accomplished. Tip number 2, take breaks. Now, this is a lesson that I continually have to learn again and again because I put, again, too much on my plate instead of focusing on that one primary task, and then I rush to get everything done. But honestly, we are so much more efficient when we give ourselves some breathing space. Because when we have breathing space, we can clear our mind, we can re-tap into our creativity, and we get our energy back so that we can sustain ourselves as we move forward. So a system that I have used and I think works pretty well is something that was offered to me by Rachel Cook, the yogipreneur. And I was talking to her and saying, Rach, I feel like my schedule's just so packed. And she said, try this system. And it's working for 45 minutes, like literally set your phone timer for 45 minutes and just work. Focus on that one task, right? And then when the timer goes off, stand up, move away from your computer, move away from what you're doing, set your timer for 15 minutes, and do something that re-energizes you. Maybe sit and meditate, do a couple yoga poses, go outside and get some fresh air, brew yourself a cup of tea, something that feels good and rewards you for the good work that you've done. And then you have this nice balance of getting really focused for those 45 minutes and then having the reprieve for the 15. And do a couple rounds of that. You can do 2 or 3 before lunch, 2 or 3 after lunch, and it's going to get you so much more, such a more effective use of your time. Number 3, and we kind of touched on this already, build self-care into your routine. If you're up and out of bed and checking your emails and tackling your to-do list right away, maybe you even need to wake up 15 minutes earlier, but begin to build in self-care. 5-10 minutes of quiet reflection or meditation, 5-10 minutes of yoga, of movement, of walking outside, maybe of sitting with your spouse over a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and connecting, or spending some time with your children. Build in those little things that feel really good and nourish you on a personal, spiritual level, that bring you back to the truly important things in your life. It can be as simple as sitting quietly and listening to beautiful music, or reading a magazine that you love, or a book that you really enjoy. Just those little things that signal to yourself that you're an important person in your life too. Now, the last one is one of my favorites. Tip number 4 is to take things off of your to-do list. So much of the time, it's all about adding and doing more. We don't really think about what are those things that are kind of floating from day to day to week that we could remove off of our list. And I'm sure you've had experience with this, where you have something that's been on your list for a really long time, and for whatever reason on a given day, you just decide to cross it off and remove it. you can feel an energetic shift. It feels literally like something has been lifted off your shoulders, and it's almost a little bit of joy that is infused back in you when you realize, you know what? That is not a priority for me. That's not something that I need to accomplish. And it frees up your time, it frees up your mental space, and it frees up your energy and your creativity to move towards those bigger goals, those one task a day projects that are really going to keep you in line with the things you truly want for yourself and your business, and then let those other things move aside. So just to kind of recap what we've covered, tip number 1, choose one really important thing a day to get accomplished. Everything else is just bonus. Tip number 2, take breaks. Experiment with that system I was talking about. Work for 45 minutes, take a 15-minute break. Number 3, build in self-care. Do little things for yourself that really make you feel good and nourished and taken care of. And tip number 4, take things, at least one thing, off of your to-do list. If you have a to-do list sitting near you right now, look at it, and I challenge you to take one thing off of it right now. I hope these tips are helpful. I hope you use them in your life and that they make you feel so much better, prevent burnout, and really find that beautiful balance between your work and your lifestyle. And for more tips just for yoga teachers, you can find me over at calmbiz.com. See you there.